Yeah, Wyzak against Archibald for the gold medal, as Simon was saying, and what an incredible qualifying it was. Between them, they've hacked some 5 seconds off the Commonwealth record in the qualifying rounds of the individual pursuit. Now, that final will be coming up about 10:30 UK time, with the All-Australian ride-off for bronze just before it. In fact, we've still got 4 finals on the track, in the track cycling to see today. We would show you them, but of course, they're still in qualifying for some of them, in particular the men's individual pursuit. Charlie Tanfield going for England in that one, and you will be able to see some of that qualifying live very shortly. It's about to go on the red button, so if you'd like to just tune into events at the Velodrome, please be our guest. But I promised you some action from the home nation's fighters in the boxing, because we've got 7 of them going in 8 different weight categories today. And we're going to dip back into the men's heavyweight division for Scotland's Scott Forrest. He's very much fancied to be amongst the medals this time. Mind you, he was 4 years ago when he was fighting at light heavyweight. In fact, he came in as the #1 ranked fighter going into that one. He was beaten by David Naika, the fella that we saw earlier from New Zealand, who went on to take the title. So he's got a bit of a score to settle against Naika. But first things first, this is his opening bout, and he's up against Kenya's Elly Ochola here, as we go back to Richie and Ron.
We're underway in the 91 kilogram heavyweight division. This is a contest between 2 very experienced operators. The boxer wearing red is Scotland's Scott Forrest, 23 years of age, competing in his 2nd Commonwealth Games, having contested the tournament on home soil in Glasgow 4 years ago. That was down at light heavyweight. His opponent, wearing the blue, is the Kenyan representative, Elly Ochola, 34 years of age, a policeman back in his native Nairobi. And he's competing at his 3rd Commonwealth Games here, 2-time quarter-finalist on his previous appearances.
Scott Forrest is in the GB squad. I've took him on the pads many times. He's very strong, mid to short range boxer is Scott. That's where he does his best work. Powerful man, likes to come forward. And when he moves his head and avoids shots coming forward, then there you go. There's an example there of that mid and short range work. Powerful lad. And I think the Kenyans have probably done their homework here. Ochola just opting just to stay on that back foot and trying to get behind his jab and keep a bit of distance between him and Forrest. But Forrest is strong coming forward, and he'll look to take the contest to his Kenyan opponent here.
It's a good right hand around the corner from Forrest. Went downstairs with a looping right hand to the body. 4 years ago, both of these men competed in the light heavyweight division at Glasgow. That's a right hand over the top once again from Forrest. It was something of a surprise to Forrest in particular, and the Scottish boxing fans in general, is Forrest scoring effectively to the body with that right hand. When Forrest was eliminated in the 1st round, but he lost to the eventual gold medalist David Naika, who really announced himself in the on the senior stage at that tournament.
Good switch of attack there from Forrest. Great right hand to the body, and then he whips one round the corner, switches to the head. He's very confident, is Forrest. I watched him as he came in to the arena, and he pumped himself up here, and obviously had a very good warm-up. He's confident, and I think he's doing well in this opening round. Ochola, I think, senses that Forrest is strong coming forward. That's why he's trying to use that jab and keeps moving off, but he keeps moving off to the left, and that's why Forrest occasionally just whips that right hand over, and Ochola, he's going to walk onto it. He has done a couple of times. There was one there, look. But again, his movement is constant to the left, and that will encourage Forrest to throw that right hand over.
Good opening round for the man in red. Mike Keane giving the instructions in that red corner.
I think they'll be pretty pleased in that corner. It was a good round, I thought, for Forrest. That was an excellent combination there. Right hook to the body and then the left hook to the head. And there, he demonstrated then he can actually box on that back foot, bringing his opponent onto that right hand, switching the attack again downstairs. Ochola kept missing the target, falling short, and there's Scott Forrest looking for that right hand over the top. So a good round for the Scotsman.
Into the second round, something of a tardy exit from the blue corner by Ochola's corner team. He's come out trying to raise the tempo to begin this second stanza. He's being met head-on by Scott Forrest, who is just moving incrementally backwards and to his laterally left and right as well to make Ochola fall short. There's a good left hand from the man in blue, but the heavier armoury is coming from Scott Forrest.
I think Ochola, to his credit, you know, he's trying to up the tempo a little bit here. His corner will have told him that he'd have lost that first round, and so he needs to get back on track. So he's up the tempo a little bit, but for me, again, he keeps moving round to his left. He's got to change his movement patterns. He's going to walk onto another right hand. It's only a matter of time. He keeps drifting to the left, and look how low his left hand is, and that will just invite that right hand over the top from Forrest.
It's coming together on the inside there. A little bit of a mark under the right eye of Forrest. He's got caught with a couple himself, but that's good timing there from Forrest. Just anticipated the attack and then brings his opponent onto a couple of good shots and then goes downstairs. That's good boxing. Ochola, after starting the round, going in search of Forrest, has again retreated to the perimeter of the boxing ring. Is trying to lure in Forrest, looking for that counter right hand shot to the body there. The feet tangle up, that's ruled a slip. But beyond the midpoint of this second round, well, Ochola perhaps looking as though he's running out of ideas here. I think it's good boxing from Forrest. He's actually going forward, but occasionally then he just takes a step back. See that little step back just to create a bit of space, and that's why he's catching Ochola as Ochola then comes forward. Ochola wants Forrest to come forward. Forrest does, but then he steps backwards, and that draws Ochola in. So I think it's clever boxing from the man in red. Ochola falling short with his attempted 1-2 combination once again. Well, Africa Games bronze medalist in 2015 was Ochola. Scott Forrest made it through to the round of 16. The light heavyweight division in the World Championships in Kazakhstan in 2013. Cupping right hand around the corner from Forrest as the 10-second clapper sounds. And Ochola, well, he's not going to get himself back into the contest waiting for this amount of time, given that he probably conceded the opening round as well. Of course, boxing, you do have the opportunity to end it in one shot. This man needs a big last round, does Ochola. A good round again for Scott Forrest. Working well to the body, keeps the attack going. Pushes Ochola back onto the ropes. There's that little adjustment with the feet and then brings him onto the left hook. Well, Forrest keeps going forward, then he adjusts his feet to create that gap. Bit untidy there, but overall, yeah, good boxing from Forrest.
Come on, everyone, let's take him out.
So the third and final round underway. Elly Ochola from Kenya, part of a 10-strong Kenyan boxing team. 7 men and 3 women. Scotland have 1 more on their squad, 2 women and 9 men. Scott Forrest said that he's ready to go to war to make it through to the Commonwealth Games podium after being eliminated in the first preliminary round in Glasgow 4 years ago. And he's controlled this one pretty much as he likes against Elly Ochola, who has tried to lure in the man in red. But Scott Forrest has boxed on his own terms.
I think the way they judge as well these days, Ronald, it's okay boxing the way Ochola does on that back foot, but occasionally you've got to push the opponent back, and just to show those judges that you're prepared to go forward as well. These days, if you're totally on the back foot, you're not going to get the decision, I don't think. You know, we've looked it up at GB. You have to keep these judges happy now by showing and demonstrating that you can box on the back foot and you can go forward as well. You're not just a hit and run boxer. That's the way they like it. It chops and changes the way they judge contests over the years. But now, in today's boxing, that's what they seem to like. They seem to like a boxer who can probably do a little bit of both. But it's very important, and we study this up at GB, that you have to push the opponent back occasionally.
Well, for the majority of the contest, Ochola has found himself in this posture, on the back foot, moving to his right, falling short with his attempted attacks. And that is why Forrest, well, dropping his hands now, and just cutting off the ring, occasionally launching punches. But inside the final minute, one suspects that Ochola needs a knockout.
He's probably doing a little bit better in this round, Ochola. He's kept his movement going, he's in and out, and he's trying to be a little bit busier. But, you know, the eye-catching stuff is from Forrest, as we've just seen there.
Hugely experienced Elly Ochola competed in the World Championships way back in 2009 in Milan in Italy, when he lost to a Scotsman in the first preliminary round. Stephen Simmons, who recently challenged for the British title, is a good right hand around the corner from Forrest, who is just oozing confidence as he helps himself to a right hand again. And Ochola letting punches go in bursts, but he needs to find a finishing punch here as the 10-second clapper sounds. Well, Scott Forrest has surely done better than he did in Glasgow 4 years ago, because having been eliminated in the first preliminary round there, he is almost certainly he's almost certain to have his hand raised as the victor at the expense of Elly Ochola to make it through to the quarterfinals.
Good boxing from Forrest throughout this contest, I thought. He started very dominantly on that front foot, but I was impressed with his boxing, creating that space, that little step back, look, you see, just to give himself the room to work, and then switching the attacks from body to head with the right hand. It was a very relaxed, he had a very relaxed guard in that last round, but nevertheless, he boxed very well indeed, and he'll be very pleased, and the Scottish corner will be pleased also that they've got their man through.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Your judges have scored this contest as a unanimous points decision in favour of your winner from the red corner, Scott!
So Scott Forrest, delighted at having prevailed in a unanimous points decision victory over Elly Ochola of Kenya. He's through to the quarterfinals.
Elly Ochola from Kenya!
Scott, you look like you were up for that in your ring walk. You went in there, you got the job done. How did it feel?
Oh, just absolutely feel amazing. I've never felt better in my life for this games. Good preparation, and I'm here now. First one in, first one won. I'm ready to take on the rest.
You've been to a Commonwealth Games before. Did you change things in the run-up to this Commonwealth Games?
Well, I moved up a weight category, so a lot comfier at the weight. Not dramatically losing weight. I feel amazing, sharp, heavyweights. They're too slow. I've took my speed with me. I'm here. I don't see anything happening.
You got to the last 16 last time around. What about this time?
Ah, well, turns out I'm fighting the boy that I train with on Team GB. We've won one each. So I won the first one, he won the second one. This is a decider. I cannot wait.
You know all about him then if you train with him?
Oh yeah, we train together 4 days a week down in Sheffield on Team GB. So we know each other, we know both each other's tricks. So this is going to be a fight to watch.
Will there be any contact between the pair of you before that fight?
Nah, no now. Till Tuesday, he's nothing.
Just let us know what you're going to do between now and your next fight.
I'm going to relax. I've not got any weight to worry about. I can take a couple of days off and I'm just going to chill. A wee sharpening session the day before and I'm ready to fight.
Best of luck, Scott.
Thanks.
Yeah, Scotland against England in the quarter-final, and that is Tuesday the 10th, I believe, in that quarter-final in the heavyweight division. They can't wait, and neither can we. It's going to be an absolutely belting contest, you would think, against Chev Clark. Now, if you're just getting up, and it's what, 10 to 7 your time, good morning. This is your Gold Coast wake-up, sun, sea, beautiful. I hope that you are relaxing gently into your day. Either that or you're running helter-skelter for the bus at 7, in which case, cheerio. But before you go, here are the headlines from day 2 of the Commonwealth Games.